Alright, so today we are continuing our reviews through all of the Flashpoint Fire Rescue expansions. Today's episode we're going to talk about Dangerous Waters and a few other mini expansions as well. Let's check them out. Okay, so before I start talking about Dangerous Waters, I do want to talk about the Fire Academy Challenge. As I told you before, I bought this from someone else's Kickstarter pack. You can only get this if you're part of the original Kickstarter. It's basically just a print and play. It gives you predetermined areas of fires and goals to make, and it's just a list of things you can. There's little sheets on here you can grade yourself and see how well you did for each one. But that's all it is. Just like it says challenge pack there, that's basically all Fire Academy Challenge is. Now let's get on and talk about Dangerous Waters, right? Ooh, look how dangerous it looks. And as you see here, this one's on a cruise ship here. Basically, this is where your firemen will enter and exit through those four entries. And of course, that's where they'll save the people out to the lifeboats or whatnot. Things that they added new to the game are these green areas. These are safe walls, like fire cannot escape from them. But also if fire hits that door, it could be jammed, and you'd have to unjam it by basically chopping through it. Other things they've added, whoops, as you see, I'm splitting the boat apart already. But if you look at the engine there, if the engine gets so much damage to it, like if there's fire on each way and explosions are rocking back and forth, well, that's going to cause a damage marker to go on the engine. And if you get 4 damage markers on the engine, then the whole ship explodes and everyone loses. So it's just a harder way to play the game. As you see, there are tons of other little areas in here, little cabin areas to rescue people in and out of. You can put hazardous material in here. You can essentially make this game as hard as you want to. The other board is really neat. It's a submarine. I'm going to have to move this around to see if I can get you the whole view of it here, but it's really cool. As you see, very narrow, very claustrophobic. It basically stretches the whole board. I kind of like this one. Really just straight goal. You enter and exit through here, so that's where you're saving them and that's where you're going. Now, of course, they have certain places that can be damaged, like this area here, this command station here. Or if you look over here, there's another engine there, so if it gets 4 on there, it's damaged as well. Of course, this one comes with the fire safety doors and jams as well that could happen to them. But that's the submarine level there. Now, the other thing that I haven't mentioned yet is a little mini expansion. Basically comes with the veteran and the dog, rescue dog, just to kind of let you know about these. They do come with their own special figures, but I'll introduce them in another video. The veteran, basically, he has a dodge move. What happens is if he has a leftover move that was saved and fire actually gets to him, remember it usually kills a fireman, but he can actually dodge it by using one of his saved actions. Now, he can also do the same for other firefighters. He gives them a free dodge movement. Anyone who's next to the veteran, if they start next to the veteran, they get 1 bonus action. Or if they're next to him and a fire lands on them, then essentially he kind of pulls them out because he's the veteran and he knows better. And so he can actually save people's lives. He works better around others, or actually I should say others work better around the veteran. So a very interesting card with interesting powers there. Now the next one is the rescue dog. As you see, he gets 12 action points. That's incredible. So he's really fast. He can go through areas. He can squeeze through walls that only have 1 damage token on it. Remember, a firefighter has to have 2 damage tokens to go through the wall, but the dog only needs 1, so he can actually run real fast. Now, to carry a victim, though, it's going to take him 4 action points. So he can still drag a victim pretty fast. And of course, obviously, he cannot fight fire, so he's just there for rescue. Okay, so first off, this Fire Academy Challenge, I get a lot of questions. I had a lot of questions about this. I said, ooh, I want this. You know, it's extra Flashpoint Fire Rescue, and it only came out with the Kickstarter. Oh man, when are they going to come out for everyone? Folks, this is not for everyone. In fact, I've never played it. I looked it over once. I saw what it was. It is nothing. It's not really that much. Definitely not worth your time to get. Now, there are places maybe you could illegally download it if you want to be a completist, but to be honest, it is not worth your time. Going to the veteran and the dog mini pack. yeah, that's probably worth your time. I'll be honest, everyone loves playing the dog. Everyone in my gaming group loves playing the dog. And I guess who doesn't? I guess there's a lot of dog people out there who would love to play a dog. It's fun to play the dog. I also like the veteran. I think the veteran is actually very helpful as well. So the little 2-pack, it doesn't cost that much. It's probably worth your money. As for Dangerous Waters, folks, this is one of the hardest ones I've ever played. That cruise ship one, I cannot beat. It's so hard. The submarine's hard too, but I have beat it once. But they really turn it up and keep it. I mean, you can put hazardous materials in here again and everything. You can just make it impossible. I guess this is for folks who just don't want to win. But other than that said, it's actually an awesome, awesome, awesome expansion. Super fun. Lots of stuff to do. One of the things, though, is that I loved about this, it made that structural engineer that much more important to the game. Now people do want to be the instructional engineer a lot more with these 2 expansions because there's so much more going on, so much damage to be repaired, and only the instructional engineer can do it. I love how they said after they brought the first one out, said, well, you know what? He wasn't really that useful. And then they brought out an expansion right after that that definitely impacts his importance in the game, because more people like to play him as you play the harder levels. So what do I think of Dangerous Waters? I think it's a fun game. Probably out of the last 2 that I reviewed, this one would now be my favorite, just because it has so many cool different areas and thoughts about where to take the game. All right, gamers, that's it for now. Until next time, game on!